Hey, what's up everybody? It's Lids, and we're back for some more Hades 2, and last time, spoiler alert, we had our first successful run going up. So if you missed it, definitely check it out, because it was a lot of fun. We succeeded with the blades, and this time round, I mean, we can take a look at the bonus weapon is apparently the skull, and we've not used that very much, and not for quite some time, so definitely a little unfamiliar here with it, and we can, or at least could use a little bit of practice with it, and we do have some potential aspects to explore here. Aspect of Malinois, we can have more power for each shell we have fired but not yet retrieved. Oh right, because this is the one where you throw it and it's a projectile that deals more damage than most of the standard attacks do, but you only have a limited supply of them. And if you use all of them, you have to go run over, pick them up, and then you can start attacking again. So a little bit of a higher risk, higher reward playstyle in that way. And this, at least initial aspect, plays even more into that. So that's a little bit intriguing. Then attacks stay within reach? Not entirely sure what that means. Maybe that means the attack basically is more or less melee range rather than the sort of mid-range it would normally be. And explodes after landing. Your specials? Or after 3 seconds? Okay, the phrasing there is tripping me up a little bit, so not entirely sure what to make of that. We do have the resources, though, to unlock that if we'd like. Then for this one, your charge special is enhanced, and damage from your cast can extend it by up to plus 2 seconds. The charge dash gets additional 10% damage. Let's just throw this on real quick to remind ourselves how this works. Because it's been long enough. Yeah, so that... Oh, that's actually... Okay, that range is a little bit longer than I had remembered. That's pretty decent. In fact, in terms of basic attacks from the various weapons, that's probably the furthest, or nearly the furthest range. Then charge it up. Oh, okay, I vaguely remember that. Sure. And then that's the... Oh, well that's the charge special, that's the normal special. I think I remember we did a run with the charge special, or maybe just the normal special being the focus, and it was a lot of fun. I don't remember how we did with it, but that's a little bit tempting. So maybe we'll try that out, and, you know, I think we're still at the stage where we are by no means expecting to defeat Prometheus, or if we were to go back down, you know, either way, I don't think we're expecting to win on every single run. We still need a little bit more practice, and obviously some additional upgrades wouldn't hurt either. So maybe we keep it simple for the time being. For the most part, we've been using Aspect of Malinois in other weapons, so maybe we go that route here as well. And we can upgrade it a few times. Power per cent shell was +5, now it's plus 10. Sure.
Draw greater power from the silver pool.
Do it again? Oh, we have tons of these resources, so sure. We are going to start running out of ash. This might be the last upgrade. But I feel like that damage improvement, because that's base damage, right? And I think, which means any sort of percentage modifier, like from boons or whatever other bonuses we might get, those would get factored in as well. Though the 15 flat damage would also get increased by, say, plus 50% damage or plus 100% damage that we get from boons and other buffs. So I think that can actually be pretty significant if we do get a bunch of improvements over the course of the run. So that intrigues me a bit. I mean, we could check. 50, 65, 80, and we only have 3. So, I forget, maybe from a hammer upgrade you might be able to get a 4th, or possibly some boons. As I said, we've used this weapon so infrequently. As for whether there's a specific keepsake that makes the most sense... Oh, apparently we unlocked this last time. Was this from Athena? I think it was. When you have no death defiances, Athena may appear once this night with at least common boons. Huh. That's... The condition upon which she appears is interesting. I mean, we have... Was it this? after you lose all of your health, you become impervious for 10 seconds, and then if you defeat all the enemies in that time period, then you come back to life with 30 health. So that's kind of similar in that it activates when you run out of health, but that technically, I think, is any time you run out of life. So it could happen multiple times if you have multiple Death Defiances, whereas this one is only when you're completely out of Death Defiances, so it's a little intriguing. And I would assume in this case, the rarity of the boon is what improves. It's not like Athena is going to show up more often, but that's functionally an additional boon, which is in some ways better than other god/goddess keepsakes, because these are, for the most part, just making it more likely for you to get a specific type of boon, and sure, you can upgrade those types of boons, but it's not adding an additional boon to the pool, unlike this. Obviously, you'd rather not have to go through all your Death Defiances, though, so it comes at a pretty steep cost. This is very Guardian-centric. I definitely don't think we are ready to take that approach. I feel like, for this build, if we're gonna go the special route, Poseidon might have been the thing that we used last time, but that seems like that makes a lot of sense. The way that you have a relatively large area on both sides of you, but you're kind of charging straight into the enemies, so knocking them back I would think would keep you much safer. So I'm a little tempted to go this route, and then obviously, if we're feeling greedy at some point, we'd like to squeeze in a gold purse, but maybe that's not how we start things off. I mean, we could always get a random Poseidon boon, so maybe we do try this. Usually we would go with a defensive boon early on, but I feel like maybe we get a little bit riskier.
What say the ashes?
And we could try, assuming that we go with a charge special as one of our primary sources of damage, we could try to, tailor our Arcana to be a little more beneficial on that side of things. Like, what if we dump the 5% sprint speed boost and instead make our charge moves 25% faster? I feel like that's going to pay off for us more. Because I thought that the sprint speed was helpful when we were going down, and Cerberus, for example, had at least a few phases where it seemed really useful. I feel like we haven't seen it. Eris, maybe, would be helpful to have the additional movement speed. And if we make it all the way to Prometheus as well, I suppose. But I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's as big of a concern. Maybe that's just, I'm spoiled by that little 5% boost. But it's just a little bonus here that might help out our build. I don't think we can mess with this because we need everything in a line in order to get one of these go. Yeah, in order to activate you, and we definitely want to have that up. Any boons you are offered? Oh yeah, the extra rarity of stuff. Yeah, I think we might keep the other things, unless your Hex also charges up automatically. I mean, that'd be kind of nice. All we have to do is activate either of these surrounding cards. Damage burst at the end of your charge cast. Don't know how much we're going to focus on the cast. If it were special, I would say that'd be more meaningful. 9% chance to deal critical damage each move in a charge combo. I think we might stick with just the relatively modest switch here. We're already tempting fate a little bit.
Commander, what is the consensus here about Prometheus? If some mortals venerated him, perhaps you and your disciples feel conflicted that he now opposes us.
The Titan who brought fire, reason, good eats, and the arts and stuff to mortal kind.
And stuff.
Face the vengeance of the gods for all of that. Can't stand the guy, let him have it.
Okay.
Wait, you can't stand him even though he did so much for you? Though mortals can be difficult to please.
I mean, is he immortal? I'm a mortal, I should say. Because he seems immortal.
Well, let's see. Has he been nice to you, or has he tried to kill you? So what if he butted us up way back when? Not like he's done much for us lately.
I mean, that's true.
He has tried to kill me.
I mean, that's a pretty good reason to be not so happy with him. Okay, so I know we had been taking the pickaxe a whole lot as of late, but I think we really want to take the shovel, because there are a few different things that we can potentially unlock. This one is like olives, for example, but we might need the shovel before we can get them. So I think we might be ready to go here, and I think we're gonna still hold off quite a bit on those because
Heading up.
want to get a little more consistent with our runs before we start throwing extra difficulty in there, even if that will eventually make us stronger. Okay, so we'll see what we can get here. Hammer early on is certainly nice. Specials are 35% faster. That's tempting. Special destroys 50% of any armor based on the total. Specials travel farther and deal plus 50% damage. I love that all of them are specials. I'm just not... After having, you know, not used the special in any rooms yet, I don't have a great sense as to which one of these is the most helpful. By 35% faster, does that also include charging up the charge special? Because that would be really nice. But the damage and the travel further, I feel like we do this. The damage and the extra area. I feel like that's going to be helpful. And does our aspect also boost our special damage, or does it only boost our attack damage? I actually don't remember, based on how many times we've thrown stuff out. Only our attacks. Okay, that's a little unfortunate, especially if we are trying to build more around the special. Because if that got a damage boost, then that'd be really nice. But that is still pretty sweet, and this is with no boons yet for the special, mind you.
Olympus.
Oh, hello. Almost missed this. Okay. So this is going to be Hera.
That Strife Incarnate recently decided to show up as she is wont to do. Eris made good sport of us before. Must think we're fools and easy prey. You correct her, yes?
Yeah, she has been very annoying to fight, for sure. But we've started to more consistently be able to take her out. So yeah, I think we used Hera quite a bit last time, or maybe it was the run before that. Still, the hitch is the most common thing for her. Afflicted foes take 30% of damage dealt to other afflicted foes. I feel like on the special that could be really good, because if you get hitch on a bunch of enemies, then that means you have it's very easy to spread that damage across them, because basically you only get that bonus splash damage if you have applied hitch to a bunch of people. So you want it to have a bunch of AoE, whatever is applying that hitch, otherwise it's doing almost nothing. So even though it's not technically the highest rarity option here, I think it might still be the most helpful, potentially by a pretty wide margin. Okay, so let's take a look at where is one of the scouty things. Here, probably walked by a bunch of them. What do we have to work with? Okay, because Poseidon was something we were saying we might be interested in prioritizing. I mean, ideally would have been knocked back on the special, I suppose, and now we've locked in a different type of special, but it's probably still okay. Now that we have done some Hera stuff, might make sense to do some additional Hera to get some synergies there. So I'm thinking Hera, probably still do Poseidon. Eyeing the double Apollo. Maybe I forget what the NPC is that has the hands. And then can we also do Hermes, or are we going to run out at that point? And Selene would also be nice, since if we're doing the charge stuff, going to be using a lot for that too. So it's a lot of things we might be interested in going for here. Tell you what, let's hold off a little bit on Poseidon. Let's go Hera first, since we have set the Hera precedent and we have basically our most important skill. Oh.
Why am I even talking to you, sister? You save your breath, I'll save mine.
I was gonna say, because it might mean that we're gonna actually sacrifice Poseidon and prioritize some of that other stuff. But, did not expect Heracles. He's not... Well, I suppose we've only seen him on this first floor thus far. But I imagine that means we're gonna have a bit of a competition here. Yup. Oh. Well, that was horrible timing for that. Nope, don't do that.
No shells.
Don't steal my kill, bro. Oh, that was also not really the thing that I meant to do. Alright, fair enough.
Not now.
Oops. Okay, we definitely beat him. Guard. We had a strong start. We slowed down a little bit toward the end there.
Your cut of the glory.
Let's see. Cast inflict hitch. Whenever you run out of magic, prime until the next location, restore all magic. So basically, I think we saw this last time. I don't remember if we took it, but it's basically a way to recycle magic if you blow through all of it, which might have happened in that room there. And then, you know, the total amount of magic you have every time you recycle it is reduced, but it does help for magic sustained. After you take damage, and then it all resets once you leave the room. After you take damage, inflict your foe with hitch, deal damage in greater measure. Whoa, that's a huge amount of damage reflection. I was not all that keen on taking it until I saw that 750% number, which does make it a little more tempting. Although this is nice. I think this is just general quality of life, and if we see this later on, we might still take it. But let's stick with the fundamentals for now. What's with his pose? I don't like it.
You made it out before. Cyclops must have caught your scent, though. He's strong, that one.
Yeah, we've made it quite a ways past the Cyclops. Also, I mean, the pose, to be fair, is fitting for Heracles, who seems to be very confident in himself.
That's a ringing endorsement. Though you must be stronger still. Ever considered putting him to the test? Could save me a lot of trouble.
True.
He's not my type. Besides, he's a spawn of the gods, just like you and me. Wouldn't be proper if we were all fighting all the time now, would it?
Didn't stop you a minute ago. Okay, so... Oh. Okay, you do you. I think the end result from having beaten him is that we get a little bit of extra gold from this encounter. At least that's what it looked like in the top left corner as we were going, but it's not like we get an extra boon or anything like that, which probably would have been more significant. Okay, so... I think that should be helpful, the thing we got. How many rooms can we do? One? Oh, pylons remaining 5. So that makes it a little bit easier for us to plan if we have an actual number for what our limit is. So if we do both Apollos, that's 2. The hand NPC room, for lack of a better way of phrasing it, because I don't remember the name of that person, that's 3. Poseidon would be 4. And then we'd have to decide Hermes or Selene. I don't think we need the extra magic after just getting that boon we took. I mean, double heart is not... It's not ever a bad thing. Apollo is also good for... I mean, I'm eyeing Apollo just because there happen to be 2 of them here, so we have some potential to benefit from synergistic boons from him. He does tend to be large AoE, which is probably helpful for what we're trying to do here. So that's a little tempting. But Poseidon is kind of similar in that way. So maybe we go double Apollo and we just see where we end up.
Another pylon.
Oh, got hit by something. That is always the danger of
Shades, I release you.
being a little bit greedy and fully charging the special. And we didn't take something for healing this time.
What do you say we cut the song and dance and set you up with something positively brilliant this time? See here.
Let's see. So we do not yet have anything for our attacks, but that's a pretty decent number. It is epic rarity, which is not bad. Thought I remembered we kind of liked his sprint. Inflicts daze on enemies, which means they have a chance to deal no damage, and 20% speed is nice. After you take damage, foes take damage. Inflict daze on all foes. So it's another one of those sort of revenge boons like what we saw previously, but this one, the damage is lower, the debuff on all foes is nice. Maybe we keep it simple here, go for the attack boon.
Better.
We can, go into both of these, potentially. Okay, yeah, you know, maybe rather than just immediately going straight into the charged special, on some occasions it might be fine to just go with, you know, basic attacks. Avoid taking the damage. We do have a healing room in the main area, but obviously we'd like to get to close to full health by the time we get there. This time I am going to do this though, because I see you have armor, which means I would like to get rid of that promptly. Oh, what? Oh, I forgot. The little things that they throw also can get destroyed. And we got a little, what is functionally a water boon, or like credit for a water boon, even if there wasn't an actual buff attached to it from the previous room. The palm is definitely nice though, because it means we are guaranteed to be able to upgrade one of our primary fundamental moves here. I think it probably is going to be the special we're going for. Bear in mind, we also had that hammer upgrade. Oh, almost forgot about you. Healing, I mean, I know we've taken some silly damage, but that does feel like that's a little bit overkill. This is max magic, which is a little tempting. Ooh. Yeah. Let's do that. Extra boon. We could get the max magic, but again, with the magic recycling, I don't think that's critically important. Oh, and we had the, we took the keepsake from Charon for the extra monies, so that's why I was a little surprised we had that much there. Okay, I think we're good in this room. Okay, so do we want to double up on Apollo? I mean, it feels like that's generally the right thing to do. It's like these guys, for example, they're fast. So if I hit them, it would be nice to, especially if they only take one hit to get rid of them, it'd be nice to just get rid of them and not have to worry about them hitting you before you get the chance to hit them. Whereas these guys, on the other hand, those guys are much slower. It would be helpful if I didn't walk into the fire or that exploding thing. Like the slow guys, in general, easier to do the charge-up attack on. These little guys, the tricky thing is our basic attack is actually quite slow as well, because it has significant travel time.
Hear me on my authority.
Okay, here's the sprint that I was saying I do like. Our attacks may inflict daze. That is nice to have just a simple, straightforward way to apply the daze. This is nice if we get... I don't think this is sort of a basic cast upgrade. I think it's sort of a supporting cast upgrade, which is to say we could still get a basic cast upgrade from someone else, and if that's good, increasing the max cast size by that much could be helpful, but I think that sprint speed looks very tempting to me. Okay, can we go in there? No? I feel like I heard some enemies. Sometimes they do spawn in here. Maybe I'm making that up. Okay. So now we need to start making some of the tough decisions with only 3 rooms left. Selene, Hermes, Poseidon, and the NPC person. We have to skip one of them. I'm kind of thinking we're not taking Zeus, although he could potentially be worth considering as well. The thing that makes me wonder if Poseidon is worthwhile is, can we still get use out of his knockback abilities when we already have special stuff from Hera, or have we basically missed out on getting the stuff we would like to get from him. Maybe we pass on him? Or at least make him a lower priority. I feel like Hermes can work in basically any and every situation.
Just a couple of these left.
That was fast. Thanks to some exploding stuff, I think setting some shades loose, and obviously the charge specials as well.
He's lighting up your life. Last thing he ever wants to do is get his hands dirty, but now, things being as they are, he doesn't have much of a choice, I guess.
Okay, let's see. Each time you slay a foe, deal more damage for 30 seconds. I think we've seen this before. I do kind of like it. Find gold in greater quantities, receive 100 right now, plus the bonus. I mean, the earlier you get this, the better. So to get this in the first floor, that is very tempting. That's also not bad. Long term, just to reduce the amount of damage we take, but I think it's hard to pass that up. I know we took the extra coinage from the keepsake as well, so should mean that overall we're not that coin constrained, at least certainly not at this stage. 600 plus on the first floor. But, of course, that can quickly change. So, with 2 left, you... Selene is the one that I'm wondering. I think we probably do want her, right? If we're spamming the charge special, that hex is going to be pretty valuable to us. Let's do it. And that basically means we're going to skip out on Poseidon. If we do find him later on, then great. But it's harder to pick the exact gods and goddesses you want after this floor. Well, that's not entirely true, because you do actually have some choices once you get to the next floor. Forgot about that. Not quite as many choices as we see here. It's like, that's actually surprisingly difficult to destroy. Oh, is this the only thing left? Or was that... Oh, okay, no, I wasted that. Alright. That seemed early to me. I was surprised. Oh. This is where we get the benefit of the recycling. This is where that guy is not a good person to charge up special on. Yeah, I'll be honest, the hardest thing thus far has been aiming with the attack and not having it either miss to the side or just be too slow to hit stuff.
I call upon the moon and draw you down.
You now possess the Argent Skull Reval, an everlasting reminder that death and fear ought always to be allies in our cause. Woe unto whomever meets her gaze.
Death and fear. Now, the way that those are capitalized makes me think that she's technically referencing specific gods and goddesses. And death? There are lots of gods that are... Death are very closely tied to death. I think that would technically be Thanatos, who we saw a lot of in Hades 1, but we've not yet seen in Hades 2. Fear, I'm not sure. Okay, so let's see. Whatever hex we pick is one that we may be able to activate somewhat frequently. After using, let's see, your hex makes you rise up then crash down target area for 200 damage. Okay. Hex blast, large area for 1000 damage, but it takes a while before it actually lands. Hex launches a seeking projectile that inflicts morph on up to 5 susceptible foes. In general, I'm not a big fan of this one. I think we're probably going to want one of these. This one is more spammable. This one's less spammable. This one does require that you basically charge straight into the enemies, which is sort of similar to our special. You could look at that as a good thing or a bad thing. Whereas this one, I think we can run around and do whatever we want while we're waiting for that to land. Just the 4 seconds is long enough that enemies absolutely can and will move out of that range when we're waiting for it to drop in. So Wolf Howl is risky, but I feel like in some ways it might make the most sense with what we're doing. Also, was that just a sound effect saying that there's something in here? Oh, this.
Go show that
Blending
shade the
right
way.
in, color-wise.
Nicely done.
Okay. And that is what it is. Follow that up with this. Or do it in the other order. Whatever our preference might be, but we now have options. And I think the big benefit would be upgrading Selene a little bit more, so we can start to get stuff that gives us bonuses every time we use that hex, because, as I was saying, you know, we might be able to spam it a whole lot. We have one room remaining. I think we have to do this, right? I assume this has the most potential, but we have not gone into this room that many times. And I don't remember what her name is, so, you know, that's...
One forgotten recess of the fallen city. A solitary seeker of profane mysteries conducts her undertakings beneath a pale, distant moon.
Yeah, we just talked with the moon.
I've learned a curse or two from this one.
I have learned a curse or two, but I have not remembered her name.
Ah, the sorceress
Medea.
returns. Not had your fill of this putrescent atmosphere? Or merely not succeeded yet in breaking the Titan siege?
We did succeed in defeating the Titan last time, but the war does wage on.
Not succeeded yet. Kronos can replenish his forces as quickly as Olympus can repel them. Have you found any weaknesses in their ranks?
They cannot be permanently slain, are barely susceptible to my most noxious poisons, and are single-minded in their devotion to the Titan Lord. Any of those sound like weaknesses?
Not quite. Okay, whenever a foe makes you use a Death Defiance, it loses 15% health. I mean, if you bear in mind that that's fairly often happening against bosses, that's actually pretty nice. After foe is slain, it has 10% chance to drop, plus 20 gold, limit 2 per encounter. We took this once before, didn't we? And it's actually kind of annoying the way that it procs and that you have to then run and manually pick it up. You have to notice that it happened first. It's a somewhat small little icon. You have to run over and pick it up. It's not as if you just automatically receive it, or at least I think that was the case. After a foe joins the encounter, it what? Randomly takes 1 to 999 damage? Is that for every single enemy that enters a room? In which case, it's theoretically possible that that could instantly clear an entire room? And it repeats every single room? I mean, obviously that range is huge, and 1 damage is not significant. And even in the mid-hundreds, that's still probably not going to one-shot stuff. But that does seem like that could... I mean, both of these seem really good. Like, for this in particular, I'm thinking of, obviously, Prometheus. That could be really useful. If we have most or even all of our Death Defiances still active by the time we get there, then this is actually worth a whole lot of damage on him. So that's interesting. Although I do wonder if, for example, we mess up the memory challenge for him in that phase, since he's technically not personally in the arena, he's invulnerable. If we lose a Death Defiance there, does he still take damage, or is he immune in that case? Because, you know, taking away 30% of his health, or potentially even more than that, depending on how many Death Defiances we have to use, that's a huge chunk. Now, that's ideal situation, of course, but even against Eris, especially since she gets stronger as the fight goes on, and oftentimes I think we've used at least 1 Death Defiance against her, if not more than that, then that could be just enough to take her out right when she's at her most dangerous. So that's also very... I mean, both of these seem really interesting. Let's do this one. The Suffering on Sight does also seem really intriguing, but I feel like that one... I mean, both of them are pretty high risk, I suppose. In that, if we use this one on very basic enemies, then it's not going to be that meaningful to us. So we have the chance of it being underwhelming, and then the other one, if it's almost always dealing single or double-digit damage, then that's not going to be all that meaningful either. Okay, we're actually doing fine from a health standpoint, so that's one of the reasons why I wanted to see if we didn't take one of the defensive keepsakes, would we be really far behind from a health standpoint? Because basically that means we're going to be at max health either way, but we gave ourselves a... what was this? Did it say how much gold this was? It was like 125 gold head start.
Barrier destroyed.
And, you know, sure, we were taking it on some of our previous runs, but it then means we have a little bit more flexibility with future keepsakes. So it... just the kind of thing that if you can get away with taking that little risk, then it can definitely pay off long term.
This gold purse that you handed me before, each night I find it brimming with coins, which must mean technically I'm in your debt.
Oh. I did not really look at it that way.
Whatever you say, my lord.
But it seems as though Charon is forgiving. Okay. I'm thinking we upgrade some of our existing boons here because we have the two main ones that we would probably want to upgrade right here. So I don't think we want to add to that list just yet.
Viable enough.
Although technically speaking, I think we are eligible for a duo boon between Apollo and Hera. So maybe might have been able to nab that. Extra sprint speed. Oh, naturally, it doesn't give us the main boon that I was looking for. The special. Honestly, the sprint speed is a little bit tempting, but should probably go for Nova Strike. Okay, we don't need that, but we would like to see this.
We've a long-standing partnership with your good boatman there. I bring mortals into being and marry them off after a bit. And he takes them yonder to your realm. Or used to, anyway.
Not gonna lie. One of the first things I heard / saw was the word partnership, and I thought, did we actually just immediately get a duo boon? That is not the case. That was wishful thinking. Let's see. After you take damage... oh, here's the revenge one that we were looking at before. Each effects also deal more damage and last plus 5 seconds. That is a little tempting. I know it's low rarity, but given how we have a lot of potential to apply Hitch, I feel like that could turn into a pretty helpful thing that we're probably not going to notice all that much because it's going to be a passive effect in many ways. But I think it could be very helpful. And that might also be one of the reasons why there were some rooms where we just cleared them out extremely quickly if we spammed the charge special. Gonna be more so the case in non-boss encounters, I imagine, though.
Heard you were in town.
Are you the one responsible for that spectral barrier at the city gates? It has the markings of Kronos all over it. And you seem to be the extra backup in case it fails.
Oh, that thing, yeah. I knew it never hold. But they keep fixing it anyway. Almost like somebody out there don't want you here.
Yeah, I'd venture to say that. That's not really what I wanted to do. That is. Oh, that's also not really what I wanted to do. Get my key bindings figured out here. And that also, I'm pretty sure, was not actually a dodge. I'm pretty sure I just ran straight into that.
No use hiding from me. Here's something.
Whoa! Well, that also we technically got hit by. That as well. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's coming from one of our Arcana cards, but I'm pretty sure we've just about used it up at this point. Hello.
Those are some smelly sheep.
Ooh, that was close. Oh, he heals from this, doesn't he?
You gotta meet some of the guys.
Phrasing is a little strange there. Yeah, come meet the guys. Oh, that was... there you go. What can happen in the time it takes to charge up the Hex. Okay, I do like the range we have there, but again, the accuracy can sometimes leave a little bit to be desired. Ooh, that was close. I don't remember if we technically have damage immunity when we're in the actual movement aspect of the charge cast. Or rather, a charge special, I should say. Ooh, yep, I probably should have known that I actually needed to dodge there. Hello. Pretty sure I don't want to do this when you're in that phase. I'm gonna do this anyway, though. Couldn't really tell what you were doing there. The sheep can hurt us? I did not realize that. Yeah, they charge. I did not realize that before. Is that because they're like special green colored sheep, technically? Rather than generic sheep? I don't know. Oh, that was bad. That is pretty long range. That still hits us, okay. That's good to know. But we are taking a lot more damage from this than I would like to. Ooh. I thought we were definitely going to get hit there. I also thought we were going to hit there. Oh, that was a sheep again. Or technically a ram, I suppose. Oh, okay. Kind of waiting to get a better line of sight on him. No, that was bad. That's nowhere near the direction I was aiming that. Also, for what it's worth, I was aiming it toward him, and it really locked on. Okay, there we go. We almost had to use Death Defiance on him, which would not have been good.
Sleep tight.
So that was a little concerning.
Tucked away.
I do like our build thus far for non-boss encounters. Oh, extra healing there? I'm not sure why, but did we upgrade the shovel in some way? I don't know. Oh, what? Can we... Looks like we can interact with him. This just feels wrong now, though. Okay, maybe we leave him alone. Got a little bit of extra healing there. Actually, we get some from just going into other rooms as well, which is nice. Which means we're not maxed, but by the time we go into the next room, we're going to be fairly close. Oh, right, and we don't have... Ooh. We don't have the mini shop, but we do have this. So we can change this to... We wanted to get Poseidon. We could make it very likely by doing this. Usually I think this would be the floor when we would take the gold purse, but this is where... Oh, maybe we go for Moonbeam instead, then. Because we should have time for this.
Want to help?
That way we can hopefully, again, get some of those buffs that make us get a bonus every time we use our Hex.
Done.
And we have seen several times now, the cat familiar in this area.
One ship sinks, another rises from the depths.
And it doesn't seem like we're making any progress toward actually unlocking that familiar, but perhaps we need to have a fish to do so, and we've not done any fishing yet. So we've graduated from the pickaxe now to the shovel, and maybe after the shovel we'll do the fishing rod.
On the outskirts of the city lies a makeshift dock, from which a vessel may cut through the channel across the land toward the mountain of the gods.
Looks like I'll need a ride.
Yeah, because here you are again. There is a fish on the ground, for what it's worth. Can we actually give that to you? Is that what we're doing? But you see this fish right there. I don't know, that maybe we're still making progress and might actually be able to use you next time. I don't know.
This way.
Let's see, with just the healing we get from entering the rooms. Yeah, we're still not... Whoa, I knew I was coming. I saw it coming. Still hoped that we were going to be fast enough to avoid it. But I was going to say that we, Oh, right. I was wondering when that was going to show up. But, oh, and Selene as well. With a little bit of healing when we enter a room, that is helpful. And it's Poseidon, nice.
Seas, my niece. Unfortunately, teeming with invaders now. Got my hands full dealing with them, if you must know. We'll see if you can break through their blockade.
Okay, let's see. We don't yet have a cast. Whenever you claim rewards other than boons or rare resources, a copy may appear. Oh, we've seen this before, and it does technically, I think, synergize well with the Hermes boon that we picked up, Quick Buck. It's another way to potentially get even more gold. And so is this. Oh. This might be even better. I mean, it's... Yeah, no, this is better, isn't it? Right? That's a 25% chance to double. Whereas this is always 100% increase. I mean, it's a higher rarity, so maybe that's one of the reasons why.
The tides come in.
It does give us healing. And a little bit of max health even. So we're basically at full here, and I think... I mean, technically both of these would be helpful, but getting a whole bunch of Selene stuff... When we took the Selene keepsake, I think now is the time. Now is the time, as you can see. In more ways than one. And you can also see, we didn't have a lot of time to take notice of it, but what with the aspect that we took, which increases our attack damage, especially when we spam our attack, and the boon that we picked up for our attack, it's pretty decent.
The path of stars.
Okay, so if we do this,
Now for the
we have
captain's wheel.
8 to work with. So let's see. Hex deals more damage to armor. Hex has more power. Charges up automatically. I don't think that's going to be that much of a concern. I mean, if we get a little bit of that, wouldn't be the worst thing. If you're using Hex, move 5% faster this encounter. That's the kind of thing we're looking for. Ideally, it'd be more damage-oriented stuff. But that might be our ideal starting place. And then let's just see what the big ones we're working toward are, because we might be able to hit at least one of these. Hex also deals damage before you rise up. I mean, sure. But what about these? Hex also inflicts the effect of your dash boon on up to 5 foes, which means we're debuffing them, making them have a chance of not damaging us. Hex deals damage in a larger area, but what's the really big one? After using your Hex, you are impervious for 1 second. That is tempting, especially if we're really spamming it. If we have 8 points, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can go all the way down. In fact, I think we might even be able to go all the way down and then get this as well. So I think we can get pretty aggressive here. So maybe we do this. Get a little bit of the automatic charge up, sure. Damage to armor, I don't think that's a huge deal. Power upgrade. Oh, or we could go here. Damage to armor, not thrilled about that, but imperviousness, I think that's a pretty big deal. Then, I mean, this helps us defensively, is the primary use case, I think. Yeah, sure. We'll prioritize that. And then, what was this? Even more automatic charge up, base damage. I'm wondering if, assuming we get a little bit more Selene, how greedy do we get? Because this might not be our preferred path, especially if we have interest in eventually getting over here as well. Do we want to go here, and then that gives us the option of taking either of these, and if we only get a little bit more, we can go for that. If we get a lot more, we can go up for this. Short term, it means we get a little bit more power. Sure. Get a little bit greedy with it. Okay, let's go... This gives us max health, doesn't it? Which is kind of nice. It's not a huge amount, but... we'll go for it. Oh, don't attack me. Oh, I walked into that.
be a lesson.
Okay, there's the little bit of max health. Now we move on. I was gonna say, I could not see them. Which made me a little nervous. You have ridiculous range as well. That guy's at least now armorless. I would really like to get rid of him. Did I? I honestly don't know. Oh, hold on. I need these.
Sailing on.
Oh, okay, that was short. Ooh, that's a lot of dudes. Which does mean that's probably pretty good. We have the immunity for a little bit, which is nice. Can't really see them, which is a bit of an issue. Normal special. You are quick. Okay. Oh, not a lot of choices here. Oh, that is the first time I've noticed the eyes on the side of the boat. Okay, see the shade? We can compel later on. Okay, see, you're gonna have a ginormous area of effect. I would like to not be in. I'm gonna wait before we do the hex. See, yeah, you went down. Okay. Yeah, very few choices here. Wow. It's pretty unusual. I don't know if we've ever seen that happen to us before on this floor. Also, accidentally started charging up a charged attack. Okay, and normally at this stage I might say, well, we've so much gold, we don't really have reason to go after it all that much. But we've so many things that are increasing the amount of gold that we get.
Hypnotize.
In fact, are we gonna get bonus
Well done.
psyche as well? I'm not sure that that was improved. Ooh, this is nice. Might not have a choice here, but I'll take it either way.
Dusky wing and horn of bull, cotton plant and shard of flint. There you are.
Hello.
Madam Cersei.
Our Lady Hecate would sometimes tell me of your progress, and let on that you attuned to the altar of ashes at long last. How marvelous! For the Arcana have so much to offer us.
I couldn't agree more. Through grasping the Arcana, I've discovered strength I never realized I had. To think I used to use our altar merely to collect my thoughts.
Oh.
Collecting one's thoughts is valuable enough. Mine own, at least, are prone to scattering. As for your innate strength and magical acuity, perchance we shall discover even more.
Okay, let's see. Shrink in size, we move faster, gain chance to dodge. I think we've taken that before, and at least in theory it seems decent. Randomly draw one of your active arcana and upgrade it. Grow in size that our strikes deal plus 15% damage. What I wasn't sure of in the past was, does this affect our hitbox? Because if so, then sure, getting extra damage is nice, but getting hit by more things is not so nice. Especially in some of those difficult boss encounters where there's a bunch of ground effects that you want to avoid. So I'm a little bit more tempted by this. We already have some movement speed on our dash, but perhaps getting even more
That is your will.
wouldn't be bad
What have I
either.
done?
We are pretty speedy at this
Hail,
point.
piggies.
Those are supposed to be pigs? I can't remember if we've heard that before. I mean, they obviously are sheep models, but they're kind of a orangey pink pig color, so presumably that means that at some point they will be replaced by new actual pig models. Okay, I don't think this is the penultimate room, is it? It might be. This is a little off-putting, the lack of choices we had. This might be the penultimate room.
Oh.
I don't think we had those before. I think that might have been Mandrake stuff, if I had to guess, and I think we had several things that really need that, crafting-wise.
A black ship, darkest of them all, disrupts the endless fleet that hounds Olympus. Yet none dare engage with it for long, or with the fearsome captain of its spectral crew.
Lord Charon's kept our enemies at bay.
Yeah, Charon's not so bad, right? Okay, that does not seem to suggest that we're about to go into a boss fight, which I think is encouraging, because honestly, I would like to have a little more time to power ourselves up here. I think we might go Palm first and just try to upgrade some of our existing things, because I think those are probably still the higher priority stuffs. Let's see. This is probably the biggest one. At this point, I don't think we need additional sprint speed. Hitch damage, though, honestly not bad. In fact, that might actually be more valuable than the special damage, because our special is applying Hitch to everyone. I don't know, we'll take it, I guess. Let's see what we get here. I mean, we're gonna buy everything, obviously, because we have a ton of monies. Let's see. When your Hex is ready, you move and strike faster. Ooh. I mean, all this stuff with sprint speed, dodge chance, which we just picked up as well, so we can definitely start leaning even more into the speed and maneuverability, dodging, just which one of those things do we want to prioritize? Oh, weapon speed is, oh, right. Yeah, that's really tempting then. I think we have to do this, right? Move speed is 15% faster. Oh, but we ignore one instance of damage. That is also really nice defensively. Oh, these are all so good. What is our dodge chance from that thing we just picked up? It's 15%, so we'd be at 30% with this. I mean, add dodge with blocking damage altogether in some encounters, and which we have already in Guardian fights, and those are synergistic as well. It'll take much longer, potentially take much longer before we have to use those invulnerabilities. Oh man, so I want all of them. They're all so good. Yes, we'll go offensive here, but those other things, really want them as well. Yeah, normal room. Which, as I said, I think is actually a good thing. It's like gives us more time to build up our strength. Oh, you throw stuff. It's not just the zombie-like dudes, although the zombie-like dude, I paid him no mind at all because I was so distracted. But the other guys that I thought were more threatening. Okay, so we don't have any Zeus stuff happening right now, although I feel like there is a chance that could be a decent god to add to our arsenal. Otherwise, Palm on some of our stuff. I mean, we do have some nice synergistic things. I'm not against the Palm either. We probably can only have one other main god or goddess that gives us boons. So there is, or at least in Hades 1, there is a limit to how many you can have. So is there one that we're still really trying to add? Like an Aphrodite or Hephaestus? I mean, maybe freezing from Demeter defensively would be useful. Not sure if we want to, you know, hold back on good things. Okay, we'll try for the Palm. We'll see. I imagine this won't be our last chance to get Zeus stuff happening. Okay, except I would like to dash out of that as well. Ooh, that might be bad timing, except we have the iframes, which are very helpful, or the 1 second of invulnerability. That was very bad timing, though, and really should not have gone with a charge attack. Anyway. Okay, speaking of attacks, though, we can make them stronger. Wait. It was normal rarity? I did not remember that. Definitely don't want that. I think it's just a matter of which of these two. I mean, it is very much the thing we're trying to focus on. I guess we still take it, even if we're getting some diminishing returns at this point. I mean, I think it's just locked in at 10 from here on out for each subsequent upgrade. This is going to be the penultimate room, I imagine.
End of the line.
Yes, it is. Okay. And we can once again purchase everything. And here is Demeter. So I suppose we got what we wished for.
Prometheus stole fire from us not for mortal kind, but because he desired it for his own gain. What good is that power to him now, upon a mountain cold as ice?
Okay, that explains a little bit more as to why the gods got so mad to him, mad at him for giving fire to the humans, because it seemed like, I mean, not that crazy of a thing to do. Okay, so if we had gotten this early, this could have been incredible, because we do have the shovel. It might still be worth doing. We do receive 1 seed now, so we get a little bit of max health, but it might just be a little too late on this occasion. It is epic rarity, but I think that just means, you know, rather than getting +5, we're getting +7. It's a little hard to get excited about that at this stage. I think this could be very nice for us, though. So we don't yet have anything for our cast. It gives us a way to apply freeze, which we otherwise would be lacking. Rather that over the gust. So yeah, I mean, unless you want to take your chances on this, but I think we go for the simple stuff. Get the freeze. Do that, max health. Do this, and we upgrade the sprint. Okay, I mean, we're even faster. Seems like that is very overkill at this stage, but yeah, we are lightning fast. I mean, it's gonna be helpful on some occasions, of course. Just gonna be hard to tell how much of a difference 5% is really gonna make.
Now take me to the coast.
You.
Thought that was you. Already locked and loaded here, so make your move, Trouble.
All right. Again, the charge attack is really not what we're looking for. Except I did it again. I think in my brain, I'm just... Part of me is just going, oh, charge move of some variety. That's all we need, right? No, it does matter a bit. Okay, we resisted that. Still not really a way in which I'd like to be relying on that, or like to be expending that. Ooh, that is definitely not the way that I want to be using that. No, we have this. This move I still find, once again, charge attack. That time it might have hit? I don't know. That's what we actually want. That is not what we want. Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to clean up our act here a bit, because she's going to become much more punishing, we know, as time goes on. This is the easy mode. Doesn't it make us 5% faster, possibly even more than that, every time we use our hex as well in each encounter? I forgot about that, so I think we can even scale up our speed more, which is kind of crazy. I will be honest, I kind of blinked / zoned out for a split second and did not really see what happened with that. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Alright, that's not really where I wanted to do that, but okay. Nope, don't run away right as I'm doing that. I don't appreciate it. Yeah, we might start getting to the point where... Ooh, that's not good. Where our, she has enough range. getting to the point where we're recycling so much of our... Nope. Recycling so much of our magic that we're actually going to have to run into some issues there. Or we will start running into some issues there. Especially if I continue to use a charge attack that we really don't care about. Yeah, look at how much we've primed. That's not good. Ow. That's also not good, obviously. No! I mean, we're faster. No, thank you. Yeah, and we're about to use Death Defiance, which does stink. That was very close, and I'm surprised that didn't hit us.
It's no use.
Oh, yep, and we are now out of the magic pretty much altogether. Forget if we have any, like, automatic restoration.
How about this?
Okay, so she gets stronger. We took the one that, the early bonus that gives us the extra damage to her when we use Death Defiance, right? Which we anticipated might end up happening once she gets strong, which is the case right now. I mean, it's not the end of this encounter. I hate this. I hate this move so much. Ooh, I walked straight into that. So does she get it? Yeah, she takes a decent chunk of damage, but honestly, it's not even that big. I thought it was 15%. It didn't feel like that was 15%. Maybe it was just that she already had a fair bit of health, so it wasn't that noticeable. So ideally, she would have been really low on health, and it would have been more or less the finishing bit of damage that we were looking for. I walked into that. I trapped myself in the corner. This is a really long phase.
Better hide.
I also walked straight in. Okay, I'm getting a little frustrated with my own performance or lack thereof here. Okay, did have to take some damage there, seemingly. Okay, that was a little bit fortunate, the timing there. Nope, don't want to be here. Don't want to be here. Okay, that was frustrating. And that's just bad. That's not... Oh, Eris is there as well. Okay. There's that attack. We've gotten absolutely blasted by that on a few occasions, I think, which has added up quite a bit. He says as he kind of gets blasted by it again. Do it. Might have been able to dodge through it, but okay. Really love to at least hit you with some little chip damage as you're charging that up. Like that. At least we're doing something to you in the meantime. Oh. Every time she runs away. No. I almost dodged into that. Where she is right there is where she is. She doesn't matter how fast you are when it comes to that move. Oh, that was not her. Oh my god. Wow. That was so bad. Oh. And it's not even like our build was that bad either, but that was the first time we had used that weapon in a while, and the first time we'd used it going up, so it's the first time we had used it against Eris, I think. Pretty sure. So, I mean, as we were saying, when we were first starting, it is one of the higher risk, higher reward weapons, and my execution was really bad. on that. So we already went in with less than full health, of course, after taking some silly damage here and there, which didn't help. But yeah, no, that did not feel good.
No making peace with one such as Eris, is there? Just isn't in her nature.
But as I said, I mean, that's kind of where we are right now, where when we're using weapons that we feel comfortable with, and we get some good boons that we get the hang of, we can, in some cases, make it to Olympus, the final fight, and maybe even beat Prometheus. But we are not consistent enough at this point to be doing that on a regular basis, which, as I was saying earlier, is why still holding back a little bit when it comes to adding the additional difficulty modifiers. And, I mean, we did throw on some additional, more experimental things setup-wise. We were a little more aggressive on the keepsake side of things. So those are the types of things we're going to want to continue to experiment with a little bit more. Because, you know, maybe we went a little too aggressively this time and could have used a little bit of a more simple warm-up run with the skulls.
Hey, if I were
or just take something different altogether.
Well, come to think of it, I'd do a lot of things. Go for a jog. That seems nice. Having legs. Getting the heart rate going. A heart seems nice. Stop it, Dora. I don't like it when you get like this. Make something with my hands? I don't know, a cup, a bowl. I'd eat. Eating seems nice. Or even just remembering what that was like. Take care, Dora.
Okay, so hopefully we will find that even if the run certainly did not go as far as we would have liked it to have gone.
Oh, what's wrong?
Oh. Now, this is not really the person I wanted to see after she just beat us up. But hopefully we can still find that there are, you know, a few things that we can do to upgrade some stuff so that we can make improvements going forward.
I really thought you had me that time, babe, but I guess not. Maybe later. You must be mad you can't get back at me right now.
She's tempting us.
I wouldn't
provoking us
here even if I could, Eris. But you really test my self-control. When next I see you at the edge of the rift, I'll not hold back. Ooh, she's angry. Just the way I like it.
If I were a little more frustrated about that encounter, I might be more frustrated with that response, because that is well written in that very, very good provocateur, which it makes sense for the Strife incarnate. Okay, darn it. Can't quite get one of these going. But we did get some stuff that we would like to plant still. Oh, we got some,
ready to come out.
Some mandrake. Okay. And are these olives? All right. And I think we got a few more that we can plant here, so that's... Oh, I'm not gonna lie, this just looked like a stick. It's like we can plant a random stick? This surprises me. But, okay, so if nothing else, I think this gives us some ways in which, after a little bit of time has passed, we can benefit from that run, however short it may have been. And well, apparently it was long enough that we still managed to pick up the things that we had planted last time round. And after having gotten some olives, we can now do a few more things, like enhance the Altar of Ashes to preserve up to 6 different arrangements of your Arcana. Now, my question here is, the Arcana that we have at the altar right now is 5x5. Does that mean it turns into 6x6? Because that adds a whole bunch. That's, what, 11? Of 11 new Arcana cards? That would be pretty significant. Technically, we do have some Arcana cards that only activate when we fill an entire row or column, so that presumably means we would need to activate one more in a row or column to make that happen, which is at times a little bit tricky. So it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Garlic we need for this. Cause Shrine of Hermes, a mini shop to appear between each zone on the surface. That would be nice. Tomes on the surface, not as high of a priority for me, and that does take a mandrake, so I think... Oh, wait, this is only olives, not mandrakes? Okay. Might still hold back since There may be some other things that require mandrakes. We can afford the fishing pier now. Need garlic for extra soil plots as well. And this we were deliberately holding back on since that Z sand is really hard to come by. Only when you defeat Kronos that you get that, so would like to be very picky about when and where we use that. So I think we definitely take this. There might be other uses for olives in another room somewhere, but this seems like a pretty useful thing to do. I think it's worthwhile.
'Tis done.
Okay. And then...
Must be an incantation that can help.
do we want to do this as well? Cattails and wood? I think those are expendable enough that we can certainly do this, and this has been here for a while. So this should be a new area altogether. Or sub-area in town. It's over there. Okay. And then it's just these two, which, as I said, I'm a little more reluctant to pull the trigger on right now. That looks like Nemesis, so I'm not particularly enthused about having this conversation after we died fairly early on, and Nemesis might have something to say about that.
You are required at your post, Nemesis. Or shall you take to openly defying me just as your sister does? I shudder to think what your mother would say of you two.
Oh no, she's gonna tell your mom.
You have no right to invoke my mother. None of this would be happening had you fulfilled your role as handmaiden and warned her an attack was imminent.
Oh, okay. Passing the blame over to Hecate.
Best watch your mouth or I shall seal it shut. You may continue dwelling on a past you were not witness to, or you may do what is expected of Nyx's daughters. Or whatever Eris is up to. Your choice.
Okay. Did Hecate put a Nemesis in her place? Because it seemed like that was overdue. She wasn't having it from us. Okay, so this is the door that was locked for so long. We were always wondering what goes through here. The answer is apparently the fishing pier.
Liquid lamentation flows through the river Cocytus. Yet even in such hopeless waters, certain creatures learn to live and thrive.
I do sense some of them want out.
Yeah, those guys vibing in the water, that doesn't look like a facial expression of joy. Okay, so theoretically that is another place where we can invite friends, I believe. Much like the baths and whatnot. Okay, I believe you wanted to speak with us.
How was the surface? Still warm and welcoming, I reckon. You're to be commended for even setting foot up there.
It was dreadful. The city of Aphira is completely overrun, and there's a blind Cyclops making sure no one gets out.
Well, that all sounds entirely unfortunate. Blind Cyclops, huh? That must be Polyphemus. Given that scrape myself way back. He's still going on about eating people.
Was that Odysseus? Huh. I honestly don't remember Odysseus's encounter with him. Actually wonder if that was in the Odyssey, or I mean, it probably would have been in the Odyssey, not in the Iliad, but yeah, I don't remember it.
He is.
Oh.
Okay, let's see. I forget. We made
Sleep well.
some progress there with Hypnos, but I do not recall what the next step is with him. Okay, but now my question is, what happens here? Because theoretically, we did some kind of fairly big upgrade.
Different arrangements of Arcana now.
And store different arrangements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Still 5 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Still 5 by 5. Oh. Huh? Oh, does it basically allow you to have separate presets? Where you basically say, rather than manually switching to this set of Arcana cards and, you know, activating and deactivating stuff with every single run to tailor things exactly the way you want, you can basically quickly swap between them. Yes. Okay. So it's a quality of life thing. It's not strictly an upgrade, but it is helpful and does make it easier for us to customize our runs. So that's something we'll want to bear in mind going forward. And as for this stuff, okay, we did, I think, spend a fair bit of ash on one of those upgrades, so we cannot further upgrade the aspect of Malinois. I mean, we did the skull in large part because it was the bonus bones weapon. Not sure if it would have otherwise been the weapon of choice for me. I mean, the blades is what we did on the previous run, and we obviously succeeded. I don't remember if it was the bonus weapon on that occasion. Maybe it just really likes those right now. So that would suggest the blades are probably the way to go for the next one. Didn't we upgrade one of these and then accidentally take a different one instead? I think we were trying to take Aspect of Malinois, but we took Aspect of Artemis or something along those lines. So maybe I'll double check what we did on our previous run and make sure we mix it up with whichever aspect we choose. Or we could just go for a weapon that we have not experimented with the aspects on at all. Like, I don't think we've taken the axe yet. Obviously we took the... Is that the only one we've yet to try since unlocking aspects? I don't know. I'll double check. But we obviously have incentive to take the blades, but since we've taken them recently, maybe we'd swap things up a little bit as well. Might still go for another shovel run since we didn't make it all that far on that one, although, as we were saying before, there is some reason to take the fishing pole as well. So I think we probably will still wrap things up here. I know the run was shorter, and so the video was shorter than we would usually have, but I mean, that's the nature of roguelites, but fortunately, we were still able to find a few ways to make some upgrades and just generally get a little bit more experience, become a little more comfortable again with a weapon that we have not used for a little bit of time. And I do like the skulls, don't get me wrong, and perhaps one of the reasons why that run was not as successful as it could have been was because I like this charge-up special a little too much and was a little too aggressive using it when perhaps a more simple and quicker option might have been better at times. But alas, we'll just try to learn from our mistakes, and next time we'll just be that much better. But thank you all for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you next time.